The final sprint is on. Enjoying a day at the races in his electorate, the Shadow Immigration Minister also had his eyes on another prize.
The government was asleep at the wheel, and now we've got this mad rush to be able to do this. It's now a race to get it done by Thursday.
For weeks, the opposition's been calling for the introduction of preventative detention orders to put some of the more than 140 people released from immigration detention back behind bars after the High Court ruled indefinite detention unlawful.
The government themselves have said that they would like all the detainees back in detention, and we want to make sure that we're assisting and helping them achieve that.
With just days to go before Parliament rises for the year, the government will introduce new legislation modelled on coalition-era anti-terror laws that allow a person to be locked up if there's a threat of a terrorist attack, now expanding those so people can be detained if they pose an unacceptable risk to the community.
What we want to make sure is that the worst of these people who've been released into the community are detained, but that's done so in a constitutional way that stands up in court.
The legislation will be discussed at Cabinet tomorrow before it's introduced to Parliament.
Government wants to ram this through the Senate in the next three or 4 days. This is knee-jerk hysteria policy making.
The government is insisting this new measure will further protect the community from some of the worst offenders. But the question is just how many will actually be put back behind bars. While politicians on both sides are talking tough and declaring they want people to be re-detained, ultimately it's not up to them. It's a decision for the court.
What we need to do is follow the High Court's reasoning, which said that these matters need to be made by courts rather than ministers.
We want to work with the government to make sure that we can get as many as we can back in detention.
The government is expected to release further details about who could be re-detained under the expanded laws tomorrow. Stephanie Boris, ABC News, Canberra.